Hello, my wonderful people. Welcome once again to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for stopping here. Continue supporting this channel. Today, I want us to share with you the challenges I faced as a new poultry farmer that could lead to the closure of my farm and how I overcame all the challenges. Stay tuned and we learn together. Welcome. I know most farmers really face these challenges like the way I faced. And some of these challenges are like the cost of feeds. You find that sometimes you don't have enough capital to start. You don't have market. And also you don't know how to manage the diseases. Like in my case, I didn't know about the diseases. I just started my poultry business without any knowledge. So I had that challenge as the first one about the diseases, and so many chickens, they died because I didn't know how to identify a disease. I didn't know how to treat a disease. So I ended up losing so many birds. The first point to discuss is about the chicks. Most farmers, they don't know about chicks, so they just buy chicks. And when they take them to their farm, they start dying or they have slow growth rate because the chicks are not quality. In my case, my first batch to bring to the farm, they really discouraged me so much, and I was very new to this business. So when thinking about chicks, do your research to know the best quality chicks from a reputable source. Sometimes it is very discouraging when you buy chicks, you lose them all because maybe where you sourced your chicks, maybe the eggs had diseases or they were not well handled and they bring diseases to your farm. So be very careful before you source your chicks. Another challenge I had is quality feeds. When I was starting my business, I could use any cheap feeds that I could come across, and my chicken were not adding weight. So I could wonder what was going on. And at this time, this was my first time, so I had to look for advice from my friend. And I was advised to look for quality feeds, even if the price was a bit high. And that is what I did. And I changed the feeds from the company that I used to buy to a better one. And my problem was solved. So if you are doing commercial farming, make sure you buy feeds that are quality. There are so many companies with quality feeds. This depends on your pocket. So if you want to have a good production of eggs and meat, start with quality feeds. When they are day-old chicks, and this I'm speaking out of my own experience. Another challenge I had is about capital, like any other farmer who wants to start poultry farming. And so I had so many equipment that I needed. So when I was starting and the money was little, so I had to buy the important ones and some I could improvise, and that was also good. So the money I had to buy my 50 chicks, and so the remaining capital I had to plan it for feeds and vaccines until it was enough. But on the way, the money I had kept aside for feeds, the prices of feeds went up, and that means I had to look for extra money to sustain the chicken. And at this time, I had no money. I had to hustle to feed my chicken. until they started laying. But I struggled a lot because of poor planning. So if you are starting your poultry business, keep in mind that feeds take a lot of capital. So plan yourself very well to avoid stress when raising your chickens. I had so many problems on where to get money to buy feeds. And also my chickens also delayed in laying. Because at first I had bad quality of chicks that went until almost 7 months without laying. And yet I was still feeding them, so check on that not to be discouraged along the way. Structure was also a problem to me because I had an old structure that was there and had to be repaired. And at this time, I had no money. It's only that I wanted to start my poultry business because I had waited for so long to start this venture. I started by repairing where I could and started my project, although it was not so perfect. When it was during rain season, the structure could pass some water to the chickens, and I could find my chickens in the morning so wet. And I lost some, and I was left with some due to poor structure. I struggled a lot because I had no alternative, but let me tell you, when you have passion about something, you can do anything until you achieve your goals. So the structure didn't stop me from keeping my chickens, and I struggled until the time I sold my first flock. And that is when I built a better coop that now could hold 100 chicks or chickens. And from there, I grew my farm slowly by slowly. So be patient, and at last, you'll get desires of your heart. Another challenge I had was where to sell my eggs. I struggled with the market because I didn't even know where to sell. I was very, very new to this venture. So the eggs could stay for so long without customers, and some could go bad. And I'm telling you, I struggled. And people who were coming to buy the eggs wanted it with a very low price. And at that time, the fees had gone up with a lot of money. And the customers still wanted to get the eggs at low prices. And even the chickens could not feed themselves. So I counted losses, and I had no other option than to sell them. And that is what I did. So before you start your poultry business, make sure you know where to sell your eggs and do enough research whether in your area there are so many suppliers of eggs, so that you can be able to know exactly where to sell your eggs. For me, the shops that I targeted when the chicken started laying, I found that there was another supplier who was supplying them. So look for market well before starting the venture. Another challenge is about diseases, and this is very common in most poultry farmers. For me, I was very new to this venture, so even identifying the disease was also hard. And before I even look for medications, I could lose so many chickens. I can remember one time I lost so many chickens and I didn't know the cause. So I had to call a veterinary doctor to come and help me. And I was told the chickens had coccidiosis. And this is a very bad disease that can finish your chickens if left untreated. So I was advised on the drugs and bought them and administered as I administered as the vet prescribed, and they were okay. So those are some of the challenges that I faced, and I know most poultry farmers go through these challenges. But with time, I learned how to raise my chickens without so many challenges and also without mortality or less mortality rate. So have enough knowledge in order to run your poultry business smoothly. That is all what I had for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Continue supporting this channel by subscribing and like the video. I'm so grateful for the support and love you are showing onto this channel. May God bless you. Let's meet in another video.